I have some. I've been like since I'm OTP and I want to learn different champs. I've been playing Nidalee on like an alt account, but it's a bit lower elo, so it might be a bit more useless.
It's up to you. I play a lot of Nidalee, so if you wanna just have me coach your Nidalee mechanics, you can do that. It's up to you. I don't care. If you wanna, like, it's up for you what you wanna like get out of the session, right? Because you might just,
Yeah.
you know.
Where's my folder? I mean, I guess we can. This game was kind of a stump, but maybe you can get out of something out of this. I don't know.
Sure.
Mm,
Right. Yeah, as said, it's up to you. If it's quite fast as well, we can just look at multiple ones as well. Maybe you have like a Rek'Sai one as well, you know?
yeah, I should have a Rek'Sai one somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, this is Rek'Sai.
How much Nidalee have you played?
I was kind of bad at it, but I've played like 20 games before. But now I've like played on like a different account, but it's like a bit lower elo. But I can send it as well.
Yeah.
This is the account that I've been playing it on.
I mean, it's fine. It's low reload rate. I can still tell mistakes,
Yeah,
probably. Alright, you can see my
probably.
screen share as well, right? Just double check.
Yeah,
Alright, bang.
yeah.
Alright. Do you always go the same build?
Yeah, I mostly go Lichbane into like Liandry.
Yeah.
But I've been like thinking about if I should go Conquer or Dark Harvest. I never really go Electrocute, but like I mostly go Conquer like 90% of the games.
Yeah, I think Conqueror is generally the best. It's like some games Electrocute. I would not recommend Dark Harvest like you're saying. I think
Oh, okay.
it's quite a troll rune, like in general, like, you know.
All right. Yeah.
It's like mainly just like, okay, if you think you need to like play for one taps or whatever, like that's mainly it, right? If you like, especially like in the early game as well, right? If you have like a Renekton or something, you just want to play for one tap on enemy top lane and stuff like that, or in
Yeah.
skirmishes, then it's fine. If you think skirmishes are a bit longer and you're gonna kite them out, then Conqueror is better, which usually is the case.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Alright. Yeah, like for the build, like Lichbane, you should go first always, I think. Like that much is like standard. I like Leander second. I'm not sure like exactly like how good it is compared to other items. I've heard some people say okay they really like what's it called Crypto Bloom or like Rabadon second, for example.
Yeah.
I think Rabadon second is sometimes really good. It's like it's just depending on what you want, right? Like I like Leandris, but yeah, like I think both can be good. It's just depending on the game. And generally, if you go like Rabadons, I would slash Shadow Flame in that sense. I think you always build towards Rabadons, and if you need the Shadow Flame for like the item spike, you just go Shadow Flame.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So it's like if an objective comes up or something.
Yeah, makes sense.
Alright. So first things is like you preferably just want to stand in this bush. This is just a general thing, right? You get movement speed out of the bush. It's like
yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
And you queue late here as well. You queue 28.5 just FY. Like it's like small things, right? But it's not like still something to look at. You always want to smite on Nidalee before you use this melee Q.
Oh, because it's more damage. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. It's like so you just smite like straight away. Otherwise, you just kite it out. That's fine. I assume, or I hope so.
Yeah, I saw Canyon do that. I remember.
Yeah. Alright, then this is fine.
Don't mind the square in the bottom right. It's a Twitch VOD.
Yeah.
And it's like in my Twitch overlay, so.
Yeah, that's alright.
Okay.
Should maybe. Oh, actually, this is fine. Alright, and in general, what is like the plan you have when you come into this game? I mean, you're playing on Smurf, of course, so it's like.
Yeah, I mean, mostly I just play for like aggressive lanes or like lanes with CC because I feel like I'm not like that experienced to like hit Nidalee spears without CC, and it's just like hard in general, right? So I just look for that.
I mean, you don't hit Nidalee spears, right? It's like enemy fails to dodge it, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's like that's a big thing. I mean, here you don't use your E like this. You know what I mean? Like you always want to use your E when you're like in combat with the camps. Like once again, it's like speed. Yeah, exactly. It's like a smaller thing, right? But it's still important to like do.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And here, if you really want to maximize it, you probably don't need to use this Q on the Raptor. You can already like Q the red buff. But
oh yeah, okay.
But I mean, these are your smaller things, right? And it's just to maximize your clear speed.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Alright, we go for a gank here. I don't mind it. I don't hate how you play this. Like, in general, like, you wanna, like, hold your Q if possible, like you're doing here, right? Because it's like it's kind of like if you play into a Blitzcrank, right? And like the Blitzcrank just throws his Q, like he's no threat afterwards, right? A similar
Yeah.
thing with Nidalee, right? You throw your Q and then it's like they don't have anything to dodge anymore.
Yeah.
I would probably like over here, I wouldn't hate you like throwing a Q right now, like if you want to, because you're still like kind of far away from them. You're gonna have another Q up, right? And it's like in general, like you said it as well, like okay, you want to play towards lanes with CC. This is just general on Nidalee, right? You always want to do that, right? But
Yeah.
it's like even now, like if you want to hit Qs without CC or anything like that, like a good way to do it is like, for example, one is coming from the flank because it's awkward to like dodge if it's on the flank, right? In that sense, because they have
Yeah.
to space this guy and this guy at the same time as dodging your spear. And
Yeah.
most times people just don't pay attention to it. And another thing is that if you throw it from fog, for example, inside a wall, people don't dodge it.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
And this is just general with skill shots as well, right? If you play Rek'Sai, I mean, it's same thing if you try to hit Q, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this was, as I said, I don't hate how you play it at the start. One thing is like if you hit your W like this, or like you hit your Q like this, you preferably you E before you like use the Q, right? And then you like,
Yeah.
so you E and then you W and then you auto Q, right? If you think he's gonna
Yeah.
flash, then you can Q straight away before the auto, right?
Yeah.
But
Okay,
it just
makes
gives
sense.
more damage. And this
Yeah.
is something I fail at as well because I just have bad habits, but
Yeah. Keep forgetting that as well.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like you said, you haven't played that much, right? So these are just general things I noticed, right? One thing, and I'm not sure if you do it, like obviously this game you path towards bot lane. If you path towards top side, I would recommend you start Raptors nowadays and you just go E-start. It's quite
Oh,
fast.
really?
Yeah, you
Okay.
like I think the clear is like 305 if you do it really good. You're not gonna do it 305, like you
Yeah.
know, like that's not like you know, that's like a speed run time or something. But it's like you can easily do it like 310 or something like that, you know.
Okay.
And I don't love these boots on Italy. I don't know a lot of people like them. It's just kind of what you want in the game, right?
Yeah, I just mostly go Sorix, but here I had like 900 gold, so I just bought these.
Yeah,
Tried them out.
yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think Sorix are better as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is just a bit of limited, right? Like, I mean, here you get this flash, right? It's like I wouldn't jump in, right? But it's like you probably don't know your limits fully, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't hate it. It's not like you Omega grief because of it or something, right? So it's like fine. Alright, and after like our first clear, so first clear, right, our plan was just okay, path bot side, like maybe look for a gank, something like that. What do you want to do now? Like what is the plan?
Um, honestly, I think just keep playing for bot, and if you get something out of bot, just play for stacking Drakes uh with mid roam.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Hope is kind of losing, so I don't really want to play for that anymore.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, this I don't really love in general. Like this just it's a bit poor tempo to me, right? Like you have Krugs open now, and then you like reset, and then you open Krugs still. See what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, like the biggest thing with like Nidalee compared to other junglers is that you can out tempo everyone, right? This is like the strength of Nidalee, right? And you always want to play towards it, right? And like with Kindred, right, she kind of wants to invade you and skirmish you a lot, but you can still out tempo. Like Kindred does not clear fast early game.
Yeah.
It's like you want to try to play as much tempo as possible and then look invades or look ganks or like whatever, right? Ways to snowball through it, right? Objectives, these kind of things, right?
Yeah.
So anytime you like waste tempo like that, it's like another time where you don't snowball the game, basically. See here. That's unlucky.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing in general, I don't think it's super important here, but something that you can think about is like, I mean, for example, here, if you're like taking the plant or like when you're chasing, you can just use W into like the bush, like right here, for example, like before you swap form. It just gives you quick vision, right? So you see you're not getting like sheets or something like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
And your W is also not that useful for anything else usually in range form, right? So. Hey guys, it's Aqsept. If you're enjoying the coaching session that you're watching right now, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. I upload coaching sessions daily right now. I also upload shorts daily. And if you're interested in seeing the sessions a bit more live and asking questions while we're going on, then just remember I always do these sessions live on my Twitch channel, so you can go follow that, link in the description. Anyways, thank you and enjoy the video. Alright, after this play, what is the plan in general? What are we thinking?
I think just full clear up, recall, try to look bot once again, maybe.
Yeah, what are we recalling for? Like, what do we want to get after recall?
I mostly just get alternator and amp tome if I have enough gold. And pink ward.
Yeah.
And nothing else special that much also. I don't really know how valuable Sheen is in this champ, since it doesn't give like any stat, just like the passive.
Yeah,
So I feel like
I wouldn't
it's
rush it, yeah.
kind of bad, yeah. And I don't really like Aether Wisp because I don't really think the stats are that good.
No, the alternator is for sure the best. I mean, the only thing here is like that I don't love is that it feels like once again it's like we're not doing it like tempo efficient in a sense, if that makes sense, right? One thing is that we want to keep having bot side, agreed. So if we want to stay here, like take the red buff, we could take the Raptors, for example. We get more gold, and we could take the Krugs after that. I don't mind that, for example, right? And then we could reset, and then we could clear down again.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that's like more efficient for the tempo in general, right? Because now it's like we clear top side, and it's like once again we're gonna reset, we're gonna go do Krugs on the spawn, and then we're gonna like run around a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, and what is the plan now?
Honestly, I don't think anything really should be done here. I think it's like kind of dead play, but it just works because it's kind of low elo.
Yeah.
But I don't think we should fight here. I honestly can't remember what happens here.
Probably not. I mean, probably you win this fight, I think, but... Yeah, and it's like if you fight, for example, you're playing on Smurf and you just want to learn limits, I don't mind that, for example, as well, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, that's good for me. Like, with me, one thing is, like, in general, like, I mean, Rek'Sai, like, have you played any other champions a lot outside of Rek'Sai, or is it, like, only Rek'Sai?
Mostly Rek'Sai, yeah.
Okay, because, like, Rek'Sai has a very, like, kind of unique playstyle, right, in a sense. Like,
yeah.
I mean, now he can, like, or she, rather, like, can farm a bit more than she could before, right? Like, she's not as bad as it is she was before, but, like, she's still not, like, a farming champion or anything, right? You still want to, like, make plays early. Like, she's a bit more of a Jarvan, right, now than she was before, but, like... Nidalee, for example, is like a completely different champion, right?
Yeah.
It's like in playstyle as well. Right, so I don't mind if you like you wanna like try out limits, you wanna try out champion mechanics, but I also would recommend like you try to practice like this kind of playstyle, right? In that sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
So for example, like tempo in camps and like looking for plays with that tempo, right? And not just looking for she's plays in a sense. Okay, so one thing I don't like love in general here is that when we're like walking back, and I notice this a lot, right? Is that I mean now we look over, right? But before this we're not like looking over on what we actually want to do on the map, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
You have like options right now, right? Because like realistically if you wanted to you could just clear bot to top again or like or the other way, right? Like you could do both. Your camps are up. So like when you're resetting over here, right? Like, you already know you have your Lich Bane, right? Like, you're not even like, you look in the shop here, okay, now you have time to use, okay, look bot lane, for example, what's going on, these kind of things, right?
Yeah.
Like, maybe you like have a plan in mind, like, and I don't notice, right? Or maybe it's like you're streaming as well, right? So maybe you're like not thinking about exactly 100% what's going on in game, and that's fine as well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get that, right? But it's like, in general, the main goal, right, is that every time we go out of base, right, we have like these 30 seconds when we're recalling and we're walking out, right, etc. That to think about the game, right? Like what we want to do, what is our short-term plan, right? I mean, this is fine. I don't mind the invade. I don't like love this play. This is mainly like a solo queue thing, I think.
Yeah. Shouldn't ever work.
Yeah. And it's like also like in general, like if we look how we play the game here, right? So okay, what happens, right? We go for a like play bot lane, then we go for an invade. The invade is fine, right? It's not really a play, right? Because you're splitting map here, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, and then we go for Drake, and then we like look to make another play. You see what I mean? It's like too many plays at once in a sense, right? This is like how you agree for tempo, right? Like, in general, like on Nidalee, it can be fine, right? But the general rule for champions, right, is that every play you make, you skip a camp, right? This is the idea of tempo. So it's like, okay, you want to make a play mid lane, maybe you skip Raptor, something like that, right? On Nidalee, you don't have to skip camps to do it, but if you skip too many plays at once, you're gonna have to start skipping camps, right?
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that generally. And it's like, here it's fine, right? Okay, we go back to farming, and then, okay, we think we can, like, make a play bot lane. Now, only thing to consider here is that, okay, it's a different kind of tempo. Right now, we're not getting a reset, right? If we want our reset, we reset here, right? Like, before, after the, like, Krugs, for example, we can get Medjais. I think it still costs 1250, right?
It's 1150 now, I think.
Okay, even better. I was thinking if they increase the price, so thank God.
Yeah.
No, because then it's like, if you think this place is, like, free, I don't mind it, right? And it's like, once again, in general, though, we're not looking around what's going on the map. We look mid lane here, this is fine. We like do Raptors, we look mid lane a bit while we're doing that, but we don't even care about what's going on top lane, right? I'm not saying you should play around top lane. It's like you said, okay, he's getting kind of fisted, right? Like, you're not gonna win through top lane, right? But enemy can win through top lane, right?
Yeah.
One thing you notice, if you like, I don't know if you watch any like pro VODs or like solo queue VODs of pro players at all.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah. One thing you probably notice is that if like some lane is like starting to fall behind, like let's just say for example you're on enemy team here and Seraph has to like burn flash level 2. Like this Kindred cannot just ignore the Seraph and like start playing for other lanes, right? He kinda has to play for mid lane because otherwise Seraph will just get snowballed on, right?
Yeah.
And obviously it's like Smurfs, you can probably get away with it. You're probably gonna snowball better than this Kindred is, right? But the general idea is, right, if they get 2 towers here, you know, maybe we should at least have looked top lane to consider it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get the kill here, and I would just go Medjais here, I wouldn't go Haunting Guys.
Okay.
Like, in general, your champion is super slippery, like, you have Ioni boots as well, right, so you have W more often, like, and it's not super easy for them to catch you, like, even with enemy comp, right? It's like, they're quite bad at catching you in general, right? It's like Skarner has to somehow grab you, you know?
Yeah.
And it's super easy to stack, right? Because you get assist on basically everyone. If you heal your Jhin, every kill he gets, right, you're gonna get an assist on, for example.
Yeah.
Or not even every kill he gets, like every kill he gets an assist on as well. Like, so you can easily stack it, right? And you kind of want to play for this Medjai generally on Nidalee. And the movement speed is super efficient on the champion as well.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what I was meaning, like, beforehand with, like, okay, obviously here this is a bit unlucky. We think she's going over the wall, it's fine, right? But it's like, if we want to, like, do something towards her, I don't, like, love us just throwing spears randomly, right? We have red buff, for example. I wanted to, like, start out-attacking her, you know, play a bit slower, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
And it's like, if we're scared of the Seraph ult, we want to wait it out, that's fine, right? But it's like here, okay, out him before you Q, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously hit it anyways, that's good, but general idea. And then also, like, it's not like you auto-attacking, like, wastes, like, time either for, like, you to get your Q out. You auto-Q and it's a smooth animation, right, in that sense, right?
Yeah.
This is where you also get, like, more Lich Bane procs in, right? Yeah, this play looks a bit dead, I think. I don't mind that spear. I think the karma is a bit blind, but it works. And it's like kind of what I was saying, right? You like throw it from an angle lane, like out of fog, right? He's not like watching what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
I don't know how that serve got hit, but we take it. I mean, otherwise I don't mind the play. I mean, the play in general is like, you know, you're not supposed to be there. I think you agree, but it's like how you play it is fine.
It shouldn't work, but it does.
Yeah, and like I mean, now you have Leandre, so maybe you don't want to go Magi's. I could see it a bit more, but it's still like I would really like Magi's on the champion, right? Like right now we would just be running away with like 25 Magi stacks, right?
Yeah.
And like the only time where you wouldn't buy it, right, in these kind of games where you're like super fed is like if you think that's the only way you throw, right? Because like I think this kind of game when Skarner is fed, it's not like the game is like automatically won, right? Like you have the potential to carry, right? But it's not like Omega 1. If you have like a game where you're like super far ahead and like you literally can't lose, then you don't buy Magi's, right? Because then it's like, okay, if you buy Magi's and the enemy like what's called ends up killing you, like they get a shutdown, they get like the Magi's, right? And they actually like get some like comeback potential, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you can agree. Your camera movement in general is a bit sloppy.
Yeah, I don't know. Normally, I thought it was always like decent, but this game it looks really bad. Yeah.
Okay, if you think it's like not normally like this, you know, don't take it to heart, right? Like in that sense.
Yeah. I think it just because I'm playing Nidalee and like focused on the mechanics more.
No, I get that as well, right?
Yeah, if I play Rek'Sai, I look my camera movement's a lot better.
Yeah, no, it's probably true, and like Rek'Sai also doesn't take like, for example, as many mechanics to like clear on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you probably played like a billion Rek'Sai games, right? So you don't even have to think when you clear, like you just do it, and you do it like basically as efficiently as you can.
Yeah.
So it's like on Nidalee, like if you want to clear with this champion efficiently, one, even if you played a lot of games on it, you're probably still not gonna do it like automatically, and two is like you haven't played it right. So if you want to clear like good, then yeah, it's gonna be a bit slow if you look around perma. It's also like you said, a lot of small mechanics. I don't really love our movement here. Like, it's like in general, this as a thing, right? You on these kind of champions, you want to play on the flank, right? This is the idea, right? Because you're not gonna end up killing the front line super easily. You want to hit your spears from a flank, etc. These kind of things, right? And you want to occupy the space that you can get in between the lines, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, for example, this LeBlanc is playing on this flank right now. If we end up moving to this flank, we don't even have a flank anymore. We're just playing right here. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So you move on to this flank, and then they have to deal with both sides, right?
Makes a lot more sense, yeah.
And like the only time where you maybe, okay, if you're for example scared that someone could be sitting on like the other flank, like the left hand right here, like sure, maybe you don't want to use face check it or whatever, but once again you have like your W use the face check for you, etc. These kind of things, right?
Yeah.
Alright, and this game just seems to be a bit over. Is there anything else you think in this game, or?
No, I think I start inting now, and then the game becomes a bit rough, but it should be.
Do you win the game?
Yeah, I win it. I win it.
Okay, thank God. Maybe I can. Do you know why you int or no?
I don't know. I think I limit tested a bit too much.
Okay, because we can maybe just like scroll through it, you know, a bit. Yeah, no, it does look like limit test. And this is maybe not even limit test. This is just like we just have to pay attention to what's going on the map, right? Like, you can play like this aggressive if you have your team with you, right? Like for sure. It's just you don't have your team here, right? And you don't have a vision line to play with either. Yeah, it's just a Magi curse actually. Don't buy it.
It's actually a Magi curse.
I don't hate us going on the side lane. We're decent in knowing one right now. We have to be careful about this. Yeah, we cannot hug this wall like we are doing here, right? Like, once again, we can maybe do it, but W over the wall, right?
Yeah. I should do that more often, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to notice, right? And good Nidalee players don't do it either, right? Like, a lot of them. But it's something that can give you a lot of advantage, I think.
Yeah. Painting so hard.
Yeah, I mean, the Sonya was a bit awful. Like, I mean,
I don't know what I even Zonya. I think I Zonya like Kindred E or something.
Yeah, like, I mean, you Sonya like your auto, you know, like, it's like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't hate you, like, if you think you can, like, get poke in or here or whatever, like, I wouldn't do this to begin with, right? Like, I would just stay range form, right? This is, like, obviously, you don't deal, like, that much damage in range form, right? Like, but it's, like, still better, right? It's like, if you ever see Jace players, like, this is a similar thing, you just kind of want to stay in range form, like, for as long as possible, right? Like, up until you can go melee form, right? It's like, most people, they go melee form, like, a bit too early, right? But you want to stay ranged for as long as possible, right?
I think you're ruined again.
Yeah, looks like it. Let's see what happens. And he probably agrees, but
yeah,
but that's League of Legends. So. Or like similar thing here, I would just stay in range form, right? Because it feels probably. Like if you look here, like if you want to go melee form like soon, that's fine. But if you look here, you kind of swap melee form, and then you're like, well, I have to use something now.
Yeah.
It's like it looks like you feel forced to do something in melee form, right? And you're not even forced to go melee form.
Yeah.
It's like you can just play slow if you want to. And it's like that melee form is like not going away, right? You could just use it 1 second later, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Alright, we win the game here. Banger. Any questions about this game?
No, I think I think I know what to take out of that game, mostly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of general mechanics, right? So that's like...
Yeah, my camera movement was kind of bad.
Yeah, it's like Nidalee mechanics, right? But then the camera movement is like the main thing, right? Like in that sense, right? If you're looking outside of that. But yeah, there's some things to think about, right? Okay, using your Q last, these kind of things, right? How you throw spears, right? And like some things in the clear, right? Like, okay, use your E more efficiently, these kind of things, right?
Yeah.
Right. Did you send me a Rek'Sai game as well? Or?
Yeah, I'm debating between two games.